You're back on MorningLine with us, Councilman Mendes here, involved in a lot of things. As we're talking this morning about what's next for Metro Salaries. You see that on the screen there, as they've done some studies to show, among other things, police officers in Nashville start at a minimum of $41,000 in a comparable sized city. I think we're bigger than Austin, Texas, but Austin's police officers start at almost $60,000 a year. The comparisons show that Nashville's not keeping up, and if you want to keep good employees, like anything, you have to pay. We're also talking about where we stand on the Fairgrounds deal and investment and the plan. To this point, yesterday a lot was happening. I mean, we're hearing about the mayor here, Cooper, even reaching out to the governor about whether or not the state can get involved in helping with NASCAR and what kind of concessions he's already gotten to improve this deal with the soccer team. It seems like, he's gotten we've got a better deal now with some of what he's done. But he refuses to sign off on them starting to tear down the buildings.
Correct.
Is that because of Parcel 8C? My goodness. Parcel 8C. It's that little piece of land between which the Speedway would be and the soccer stadium, right. And whether or not a plaza is there, and whether or not the soccer stadium wants that for something and NASCAR would need it for something else. Is that what that's all about?
Well, there's a great deal of confusion, and you were joking
8C
earlier.
8C stands for?
C stands for confusion. Yeah. The deal that was passed by the Metro Council a couple of years ago gave Parcel 8C as part of the development that goes with the soccer stadium, and the mayor has been trying to unring that bell, and it's not clear what the intention is. The mayor said he'd like it for open space, or that we can do better with it. There's a lot of people talking about how the racetrack would need it if it were improved.
What does soccer want it for? Would they put,
they say there's going to be a mixed-use building, parking, retail, housing on that parcel.
It's just about 2 acres, is that what makes it?
2.4.
2.4, right. And the total piece of property here is 10-something acres? So that's still at a stumbling block, but that was initially included in the deal. And
it definitely is part of what was approved by the council, signed by the previous mayor.
Okay, and just so folks understand this, a lot of people say, well, if there's a deal, there's a deal. But when you have a new mayor coming in, and we were just talking during the break, this is our third mayor in 2 years.
You're right.
Okay, and deals were negotiated under the mayors. Mayor Cooper, who ran on being fiscally responsible and looking at this, has a right to say that was a deal by someone else.
Well, I don't know.
That doesn't mean he can't be sued, and the city couldn't be sued, but he can make changes.
I don't subscribe to this video game theory of being mayor where you get a new life on everything after the election. In order to conduct business with citizens and the business community, there needs to be some level of continuity, for the various economic development deals that were in some stage of development at the time of the election, the idea of being just a flat no on all of them would be a mistake because it would undermine the ability of any mayor to do business in the future. How would you ever get anything done in the last year in office?
Yeah, because people wouldn't trust that you could.
If the new mayor gets a new life just by pressing a button.
Let's take a phone call from Joe. Joe, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Nick.
Hi, Joe.
I agree with what's already been said 100%. Our Metro employees are underpaid, understaffed, and all this money that they built the big center down on Broad Street, and all these hotels are coming in and everything. But our infrastructure they just had a big rate increase, not a big rate, but a rate increase on water because of the pipes under the city and places are antiquated. Where is all this money going to? I'm confused because you can't. Metro services are even suffering because you try to call to report something to any of the organizations. You're gonna get somebody that answers the phone, even at the mayor's office. Somebody will answer the phone and says, "I'm away from my desk, so I'll return your call." Well, you're fortunate if you ever get a call back. But It's ridiculous sidewalks. We got a lot of places. People getting run over one a week at least here. And a lot of places they don't have sidewalks. So I think that's last I heard, a quote, a foot of sidewalks was going to be $1,000 a foot. Now that's ridiculous. These contractors come in and build these apartments, and build these homes, and they don't do what they're supposed to do. But there's the whole problem with all of it, there's no oversight.
Okay, well, and you guys maybe are part of oversight. He's talking about what you were talking about with the salary issue, that services, he notices that he's not getting what he wants. I mean, that's what people should recognize. If there is more revenue for these folks, services will improve.
Yeah, and a year ago, of all the Metro Council members that voted for a rate increase last year, all but one won their re-election campaign. Constituents all over town feel the squeeze on services. If you get in a car accident on a weekend that's a non-injury accident, you can wait 3 hours, 4 hours for a police officer to show up, and the police officers are not sitting around eating donuts. They're working their tails off to take care of it, and there's just not enough of them.
That's a great point.
The reality is, for the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s, we regularly as a city adjusted the tax rate and the water rate to meet the needs of growing city. And with the last downturn, because things were so dire nationally with the economy, we stopped doing that, and we never turned it back on. And that building a budget from the ground up to see what we need to do, what services we need to provide, what we need to pay our employees, that's not the way we've been doing budgets. We've been doing budgets from a place of, I think, cynicism in saying people won't support paying for what we need to get done, therefore no new revenue for the city, therefore no new money for employees, therefore no extra employees. In the codes department, people always complain about lanes being closed, contractors doing whatever they want. There's literally in this entire city one guy who goes around to enforce the laws on that.
Think about it.
Well, there's one guy.
One guy in Metro. I know in Wilson County, where I live, which is nowhere near the size of this, same kind of thing. Some of these folks in the public works and others that have to go out and inspect things, these poor individuals, they're on their own. And can you imagine the number of calls they get? I can imagine in Metro. So one guy, so you're getting frustrated, but it's still, you get what you pay for. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, does that have to be a tax increase? And Joe, I know, always is going to say, we have all these industries coming in, and I know there are deals made with them and tax breaks to attract business. But is it not true, and we've covered this before with you, and you can explain it again, as all of this has come, these people are all opening up businesses and should be at some point paying taxes. So that's more money coming into the pool for our general fund from these taxes, right? Unless they're all earmarked to be given breaks where they don't have to pay taxes, which a lot of people, frankly, are sick and tired of hearing about. Right. Where's that money going? Don't we have a larger tax base as more companies move here? Doesn't that increase our tax base and give us more money?
That's like arguing that Oreos should lower their price if more people buy Oreos. It just doesn't work that way. We got more people coming to town, more people using services. Firefighters have to go to more places. Police officers have to go to more places. Getting bigger costs more, and you can't just keep prices flat forever.
Oh, and that's not my point, though. I agree with you. You're exactly right. What I mean is, isn't there a lot more money coming in? If we get Amazon plopping down here at some point and some others, and they're going to be building, and I guess they're taxed on the buildings and other stuff. Sure. That's money that's going somewhere over here. Now, what's that money going to be spent on? They're already here on streets that are already built, so,
Well, and then they're going to have 5,000, 10,000 more employees in town, which will put a greater wear and tear on transit, on schools, on roads.
And all those employees are going to be making money and paying taxes. So I'm just saying, where is the money from these more people coming to? That's going to be going to, you would think, upgrading roads and stuff.
Sure. Right. All the things that Metro does. There's an additional cost when the additional people move to town.
Just common sense, right?
And it is. It sounds simple, but people are paying more for Oreos than they paid in 2005, and I'm guessing the price has gone up more than once. And on property taxes, we've had the price go up once during that time period.
Yeah.
There's almost nothing that has gone up. There are multiple departments that, inflation adjusted, have smaller budgets than they had 10 years ago.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break on that note. More phone calls if you have a question or comment. The number 737-7587 with Councilman Bob Mendes right after this.